Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
Man, am I glad we're live. Live. Good evening. I'm your host, Ed McQueen, for today's broadcast. And you can see on the right of me is the icon of Conway, Miss Marjorie McIver. And guess what? We this opportunity, along with Ms. McIver, we have someone else on. We have as advertised. We have Miss Annis Alston Staley, and they both have endearing and some very, very critical projects that the community needs to know, get update on, so that they themselves can help make decision and perhaps more funding next year. We can always use that in both projects. So good evening, Ms. McIver, and you smile like you're glad to be here. All right.
Well, I thank you for the invite.
Well, you're welcome. You're so welcome. We felt this was an important project that's going on, and if we don't keep the community updated on this, I'm afraid that kind of like lose sight of it and the strength of it. But I just feel that it's so strong that and the impact that it has on our children, it's something that it needs to be continuously focused on. Okay, so Ms. McIver, and if everyone knows what I'm talking about, we're talking about your project is called a Youth 2023 Youth Literacy Project, literacy program, right?
Literacy Initiative.
Literacy Initiative program, and this has been going on for a while. It might add, right?
Yes.
This is
prior to COVID, we had the young people in person
right
on a daily basis for about 10, 11 years.
Uh-huh.
Once COVID hit, it just shut down everything. So we had to regroup and decided during that time that we would create something to keep the young people involved in literacy, which means the reading and writing and research and technology. And we were able to do it, for the past 4 years with the reading of certain books and completing activities.
Okay, just let me advise our viewers that April will be with us very shortly. And if you also used to seeing her face, she'll become back, God willing. Okay, Ms. McIver, tell us a little bit more about the program and the not just the contents, but what you have on the coming up. I know about it, and it sounds exciting to me. I'll let you tell them so that they can everybody can get ready. We're gonna get this thing rolling.
I'm hopeful that everyone knows that there is going to be a grand event being held in Georgetown, South Carolina.
Right, absolutely.
And there's going to be the unveiling of a sculpture entitled Bring Harriet Home to the Promised Land.
Right.
We have a bus that was being given by Chesterfield Missionary Baptist Church, thanks to Miss Joella McQueen. They will be transporting us from the Whittemore Park Middle School to Georgetown, South Carolina. Now, while we are there, we have so many activities set up for the young people that will be attending. First of all, I want to thank the parents of the young people who stayed with the literacy initiative this summer. We started off with, I think, about 43 participants,
right.
And we are now down to 27. And I certainly hope that those 27 will remain committed. Many of the young people have started submitting their activity projects, and they're doing a fantastic job with it.
Yeah,
when that bus.
Go ahead. I'll tell you, I've seen some awesome things out of these young people for the past 3 or 4 years. Okay, and it just blows my mind sometimes. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
This is an opportunity for our young people and their parents to continue to learn much about our rich history.
Absolutely.
The young people who did not stay with this summer's program were the younger group. And I suspect because parents have so many other obligations that they weren't able to continue to work with the young people in the project. Right. However, I'm going to encourage parents to get the young people started at as an early age as possible. We need those, and I have to tell you, we've got a 5-year-old in this program. We've got a 6-year-old in this program, and they're doing just wonderful work based on their developmental level, the things that they are able to do. And those parents are working with those young people. So our project this year includes ages 5 through 12 for the first group, and 13 through 18 for the older group. And I'm so pleased to say our older group has been hanging in there. And we have 15 of them in this program this year. We're going to leave Whittemore Park Middle School at 8:30
Okay.
on Saturday morning. And when we arrive in Georgetown, we will have breakfast at one of the eating places there. And at 10 o'clock, we will have the book signing by Mr. Steve Williams. We have two of his books that the young people are reading, and he's going to sign those books. So we are asking the young people to bring their books with them. We also will hopefully have signatures from the sculptor, Mr. Wesley Warford. And then we have a family member, Miss Ernestine Tina Wyatt, who is the great, great, great grandniece of Harriet Tubman. She will be present as well, and our kids will have an opportunity to interact with them. At 10:30, we will have a walking tour, just going to one of the sites, one of the museums. And then the program begins right at 11:30. And during that time, they will have the unveiling of the sculpture. I would like to give kudos to Marilyn Hemingway, who is the CEO, president of the Georgetown Gullah Geechee um, um, group, and Mr. Steve Williams, who is one of the co-chairs of the planning committee. So he and Miss Marilyn Hemingway have been working together to make this event possible. During that unveiling of the sculpture, we're going to have some clay so the young people could participate in an activity that they call making something out of nothing. Making something out of nothing. And to show an example of that, our young people, as a part of their activity packet, they are creating dolls. And to show how they'll take nothing, this is the body of one of the dolls that they will be creating. And the final product may look like this. This is a female. And then we also have Madam Queen here.
Queen of the Nile.
One of the dolls. And these young people will take nothing and make something out of it. We're going to have their dolls on display at one of the museums when we get down there. Another example, and these dolls, the model was created by Katie Brooks, one of our community persons. And then we have Miss Zenobia Harper, who has been doing these dolls for years. She is now the director of the Joyner Gullah Geechee Diaspora Studies
Right.
organization at Coastal. And she started with these dolls. And the dolls, when they decorate the dolls or dress the dolls, they'll look like this. And hers has movable parts. So
Right.
these are items that we use included in that would be the jewelry making. If you look at this particular doll, it has the wiring for the necklace, and then they've made jewelry out of the jewelry that we've had, earrings out of that as well. So our kids are very, very creative.
Right.
And it got so good that the parents have decided that they wanted to make dolls too. So I'm looking forward to seeing those creations when they're finished. So with that, after we leave the ceremonies, we will go to the historic Bethel AME Church, where the pastor, Reverend Dr. Betty Days Clark, will be having a lunch for us. And the lunch was provided by the Georgetown Gullah Geechee Planning Committee. But Reverend Dr. Days will be there to share the history of that particular church. And we also will have Mr. Williams, the author, who will share the history of Georgetown. And then hopefully we will have Miss Ernestine Wyatt there. Either she's going to make an appearance there or she's going to return to the Rice Museum and share with us there. And once we have completed the tour and the presentation at the Bethel AME Church, we will go on tour of the Georgetown Historic Museum, the Maritime Museum, where Mr. Williams has some of his works there, and as well as the Rice Museum. And the curator and director of the Rice Museum, Mr. Jim Fitch, will be there to share the displays that they currently have
Right.
at the museum. So we hope to have, just a wonderful, full, enjoyable, enlightening, historical day.
Well, I'm tagging along for the ride. I certainly can't wait. Really, I really. I would, I'm really glad that we're going to the Rice Museum. There's some things at the Rice Museum. There's some knowledge about rice there that I think every young person, especially in South Carolina, really needs to know. And this supplements their history teaching in their schools about South Carolina itself and the South, if you really want to get down to it, because everybody thinks that cotton was king for the whole South Carolina economy, but it was rice first.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, it was rice. So if you have the knowledge of letting us all know as to how rice became the king, we can talk about it. Okay.
Okay. I'd like the Rice Queen to talk about it, but she's not on today, Miss Zenobia Harper. She is just a wonderful historian that deals with the entire Gullah Geechee corridor. And before I leave this earth, I want to travel along the corridor. So every summer, we're going to have some type of field trip going down or up or down the corridor. And so we want to keep you all abreast because we're taking one bus everywhere we go. Last summer, we went to Mr. Cecil Williams, South Carolina Civil Rights Museum. And that is something in Orangeburg, South Carolina, that everybody needs to visit to see what he has there. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, right. We need to make that trip every year.
Right.
We really need it.
Yeah. Later on, probably in the fall, we're going to take the young people back to Myrtle Beach, to the Myrtle Beach Colored Museum. And then I understand there's a South Carolina museum there that has a display of artwork, the art museum.
Right.
And we definitely need to see what they have on exhibit at this point in that gallery. So we want to try to continue to share our history with our community. And that not just the young people, we're talking about the parents as well, because even as old as I am, there's so much of this history that I had not been exposed to. And I tell people I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm going to continue to do what I do and to learn more and to share more of what, I've learned with the young people and the community at large.
Okay. Yeah. Again, for those who are scheduled to go and who have made a commitment, I assume your commitment stage is not over with yet. But you're still accepting commitments from some young people and adults. Again, it's 8:30 of this Saturday morning coming.
Right.
At Whittemore Park Middle School.
Right. And we have a few slots available, and I just have to preface it with the fact that we have over half of the folks that are going will be driving. Then we have an entourage from Charleston. There are
Yep.
about 15 coming in from Charleston that are part of this group, either the World Community Magazine or the literacy program. And there'll be quite a few driving behind us from here, meeting us there. Currently, we have a little over 30 folks on that bus, but there are about 7 or 8 persons that have not fully committed to whether they're going to drive or ride the bus. So I will not know that information until maybe a couple of days from now, maybe Thursday evening or something
Right.
like that.
Okay. We certainly hope to, looking forward to it again.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So what kind of preparation? Now, I never got into this with you on that, but some of the things that the student should bring. I mean, Georgetown is just like maybe 38 miles, from Conway or something like that.
Well,
But
thankful to the help of Joella McQueen and the Chesterfield, the bus is secured. So that is one expense that the folks can eliminate. And the only thing at this time is that they'll be responsible for is whatever breakfast we eat. And the young people want to go to McDonald's. So when we get to Georgetown, that's where we'll go. And for the adults who will not be eating the lunch at the church, because that's specifically for the young people.
right.
We have several restaurants that we have contacted so that we could order lunch and have the lunch brought to the church. So we will be able to participate in the programs along with the children.
Yeah. So we're talking about I don't want to use the phrase brown bagging at the lunch for children, but it's better than that, right? It's actually a little bit better than a brown bag, right?
Oh yeah, well it's box lunches.
Box
so,
lunch, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got 3 restaurants that we have contacted to see if we can, pre-order and have those meals prepared so that we can take it to the church.
Okay, and this what I'm about to say is probably for the students or the parents if they're listening. And that is, the day encompasses up about from 8:30. You can say they'll be away until what 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Probably about 4:30.
4:30.
If we get from the church a little bit earlier, then we
Right.
could start the tours earlier. And it's the beauty of this entire experience is that everything is pretty much located in the same area.
Yeah,
So
right.
the older folks won't have to worry about a lot of walking or any walking, any distance per se. And we will have transportation on the other end that if there's somebody that can't do that, even the short walk, we can get them on the vehicle to take them to the next museum. But
Right.
they're all in the same proximity of each other.
Yeah, and I think Front Street is the main street. I believe
Right, it is.
this leads down to the river or to the outlet.
We will take the bus from the park to the church because that's the only distance that we really have to be concerned about.
Okay, and the church, and what street is the church on? I'm getting all these logistics as much as I can and as specific as I can.
I know it's the Gainey Joseph Hayne Rainey Park.
Well, yeah, no, I know about the park has been established, but the church.
Well, I'm not sure what street it is, and I know I've been told, but again, we will have transportation there.
Okay, but a number of people may elect to drive.
Well, yes, the ones that are on the bus, we'll definitely have their seats secured. And there are those that will be following us, and then those that are coming from Charleston, they can follow us to the church.
Okay. You mentioned earlier about a book signing by author Steve Williams.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything that you could put up of any books to show our people,
All right.
our viewers?
April has the copies of the two books. The blue book the blue book is used by the younger people, younger participants in this program. It's called As I Travel Along, um, the story of Harriet Tubman and James Bowley.
Right.
And that book is in English and in the Gullah language. So for any of you who were interested in trying to find out, what some of these words sound like, you get a copy of that book. And the older participants are reading the other book by Steve Williams. It's called Harriet Tubman and John Bowley's Most Excellent Adventure. And we ask the young people to all who have books to please bring them, because he's agreed to do an early signing so we won't have to wait in line too long. So he's going to sign for our folks.
Okay. You'll probably have some books on sale there, right?
He will have books on sale, and all of our young people will be given a copy of this pamphlet. And in it, we have pictures of those that are a part of, and I didn't want to give this out until we actually had it proofread.
Right.
And it's proofread now, so they can get these signatures as well once they get there, and their pages, and have them to take notes. I don't take young people on trips without having them to take notes. And they're asked, and they want to take pictures. So quite a few of them will take pictures so they could add to their
Right.
Scrapbooks. And Mr. McQueen, we've designated you as the photographer. And at the end of this experience, before we go to the church, we need a group picture. So
Okay.
that's your task.
Let me put that in my phone here. Okay. Well, I'm excited about that task. I'm excited about the whole trip. Okay. Yeah, and there you see it is the two books in question that we were talking about.
Exactly.
Harriet Tubman and John Bowley's Most Excellent Adventure. John Bowley's house is. I think are they going by that? Are they going to go by there? And
it's James Bowley.
James Bowley.
John.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Okay. Someone just put up the address of Clarice. Put up the address of
Miss Clarice.
Yes. Bethlehem Church. Thank you. But James Bowley was the nephew who Harriet sent to get an education, and then he went to Georgetown. So
Right.
And that book we use for the older participants. And the one to the right, As I Travel Along, that's the one that's written, has Gullah interpretation, a Gullah translation.
Yeah. Saw the one on the left. Exciting as it gets. Okay. So, well, again, if for those who are who intend to go with us, leaving the bus leaves at 8:30 Saturday morning, and at the Whittemore Park Middle School. And it will be a not a big school bus or anything. If to look for anything, it's a 40 passenger bus. And Ms. McIver did reiterate that it was being provided by Chesterfield Missionary Baptist Church. Reverend J.R. Matthews is pastor there.
Yeah.
And he's been very cooperative in the past. The last time we went, in fact, when we went to Orangeburg, yeah, he was and provided a driver. So, that was to me very thoughtful and very accommodating. It certainly did help with the logistics there at that time, and hopefully expect the same thing this time.
Right.
And we're just going 38 miles down the road. I'm calling it, into Georgetown. Oh, by the way, the seating arrangements. Has there been any communication regarding the chairs seating? Do they have any sections for any special guests or dignitaries?
They do. They have a reception at 10:30 for the special guests,
right?
And they are adding additional seats to the park,
right?
Especially for the seniors or the older, members of the audience.
Right. So for our group, I'm going to say our group, the bus and the group from Charleston. Were there any special arrangements for them? I don't know if we're the only bus group that's coming or not.
I'm not sure, but she said after she found out we were bringing a bus, she had 50 chairs. She was adding 25 more.
Okay.
So it's just imperative that our older people get a chance to sit for sure.
Right. Okay.
Because we'll be sitting most of the time anyway in the museum, at the church, and eating breakfast and whatever. So,
yeah, I suppose we have to be very careful. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, while April was on, with the projects that the young people are doing, we have a final culminating project presentation that the kids will be responsible for submitting to April. And April, if you don't mind sharing that with them, because they know now that they are presenting on the 12th and the 13th of August. So if you can share.
Sure, absolutely. So for the young people who are presenting, we have 2 presentation times. On Saturday, August the 12th, will be ages 7 through 12, and that's going to be via Zoom. So you must submit your projects to me by Thursday, August the 10th, and I will pull all of the projects together, and then we'll organize the order of the presentations. For the ages 13 to 18, your presentation is Sunday, August the 13th, and that's at 3 o'clock. I'll go back and say the time for the other group in a minute, but ages 13 through 18, Sunday, August the 13th at 3 p.m. via Zoom. Again, you'll submit your projects to me, and I'll organize them, and then we'll determine the order of the presentations. You can email the projects to my email address, and I will drop it in the chat. Also, it's in your packet that you receive from Ms. McIver. So if you have any questions, please get in touch with Ms. McIver, or you can email me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. But the projects usually include a number of things. The kids are, the students are very, very creative. So if you're doing, for example, a newspaper, if you're doing a video, if you're doing, paintings or drawings, just make sure that you put them in a format that can be transmitted via email. So if you've done a drawing, you may want to just take a really nice picture of it and send that in the email. Or if you are going to do a video, for example, you want to make sure that it's an MP4 file so that it will be easy to show across the Zoom. And, if you have any questions about anything else that you want to transmit, just get in touch with me. If you want to send over a PowerPoint or whatever, it should be fine, as long as you are keeping the size of the document really small. So that's pretty much it. And for the past couple of years, we've had some amazing projects to come through. So that's always really exciting to see the students turn what they learn into an actual artifact. And we can, show it to everyone, and the students can share.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
awesome in the past. I mean,
So how can the viewing audience get to see these presentations?
Well, we can do one or two things, Ms. McIver. I will see if we can connect our Zoom to the Facebook or to our YouTube, and we will post that information in the coming days. But if not, we may need to shift from Zoom to maybe the StreamYard platform and handle it that way. And in that way, it'll be totally live for anybody to see if they would like.
Okay. And another option we have, once we've seen the projects, to keep it within a timely frame, we may want to just show it later, maybe. I'm not sure. So,
Right. Absolutely. So I'm going to include the email address here and make it easy. There is a question coming from Coretta Smalls. Was this an invitation to Horry County, the churches throughout, and how was this announced to the communities?
we started this with the young people who participated in the literacy initiative. And that came, of course, through your program. And the young people were to sign up and register with April. And from that, I took the registrations and then created a file for every young person. And that's how we communicated, because this initiative was primarily for the young people. So it really wasn't open, but because we had the bus, we were able to open that up, to the parents of these young people. So that's how the bus got full. But I like the question, because here's what it tells me. It tells me that the listening audience would like to participate in some of these field trip experiences as well. So in the future, and I'll tell you there's one coming up, April, if you don't mind my sharing this, on August 26th, there is a program. It's back in Georgetown, and it's the Gullah Kinfolks Traveling Theater. If any of you remember on Pearly Sue, she is, of course, the star in the feature of this theater. On the 26th, we've already gotten contacts with Mason Temple, Elder Lee, and they're committing to a bus for that. And because of that type program, we may need to have another bus. So I'm going to ask Mr. McQueen and Miss Joella to see what we can do to try to get another bus. And then we'll, of course, check with the Cherry Hill Missionary Baptist Church to see what, opportunities we have there. Because we do know these three churches have buses. So
what are the three churches? Oh, yeah, Chesterfield.
Chesterfield Missionary Baptist Church.
Mason Temple.
This one, Mason Temple,
and Cherry Hill.
Who is probably sponsoring the one on the 26th. And that is another Saturday, August 26th. And the program will be from 6 to 8 p.m. And it's on Pearly Sue and the Gullah Kinfolks Traveling Theater. They will be doing songs and dances and storytelling in the Geechee Gullah dialect or language, as you would call it. Now, children 11 and under are free, and we will be able to get group rates. I've already talked to Miss Marilyn Hemingway. And so if any of you are interested in going to that performance on the 26th, just either let April know, let Mr. McQueen know, let me know, and we'll get the information out to the community as quickly as possible, and maybe as early as this Sunday to get them in the churches. So a good question, and I guess I was waiting for that, because now you're a committed community.
And Coretta, just to answer your question as well, when we launched this program for the summer, Ms. McIver came on and actually did an official launch through the show. and we posted announcements on social media that if anyone was interested, they could, sign up. Their students could sign up, or the parents could sign the students up. So the information was also available on the World Community Magazine's website at wcmagazine.net. And that's where we will always post the information. So I'll be sure to include, thank you for sending me your email address. I'll be sure to include you in anything that goes out. But in the meantime, typically, those announcements are through this platform and across social media to get us started. Yeah. So, well, Ms. McIver, you have given a world of information, and just want to let you know, I don't know if she's watching. I'm not going to call her name and put her on blast, but one of your students just sent me her final presentation.
Wow.
I mean, immediately. And it was delivered via the email address. So good job. You know who you are. And
well, I don't care if you announce it. I mean, that's a motivator.
I know.
Yes,
we should give her a gold star. I'm telling you. So Destiny Porterfield has submitted her.
Okay.
I'll tell you that, Destiny. April, we have to have her as a regular, as a reporter. Okay, what do you think?
I think you could talk to Destiny and see if she's willing to do that.
Yeah, I've already talked with her.
Okay, all right. Well, if she's willing to do it, we'd love to have her. Mm-hmm.
She and her twin.
Yes. that would be great. The twin reporters. That would be great.
Absolutely, you got it.
Twin reports. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
The
twin reports.
Yes. And Ms. McIver Coretta is in Greenville, but she always supports the Burgess community because that's home for her. So she's watching tonight from Greenville, South Carolina. And so we can definitely lean on her for any information, or to get any information that we have out to the Burgess community.
Well, if she is at Burgess, we got connections there too, Mr. John Smalls.
Yes. So last name is Smalls. Yeah.
So that's great. But it's just been wonderful having, the response from the community. And I heard Edward mention about donations and, donations so that we can continue to have these kinds of programs, especially the summer job program. Those kids that they are paid. The young people who participate in this summer literacy, they're not paid per se, but they do get a stipend.
Right.
And when they get that check at the end of this project, I mean, they are just elated. So they get their stipends based on the work that they do, on the quality of work that they do, and also on the timeliness of it too. We encourage them to try to turn in their projects as they complete them.
I'll tell you, so far you've had some quality on in the past, and this is just awesome. I mean, some quality production from these young people. All right. So Ms. McIver, we like April said, it's a wealth of information, and we hope to continue to. For you to kind of like as your project goes on, they have you at least for a small amount of time in the past. I mean, coming up, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is an important project, but we have coming up now the Whittemore Alumni Association. They have some things, and this is another entity that's serving the community well with this new president, Miss Annis Alston Staley, and before we get to her, we're going to be showing some just give the people a sample of the progress that we've made with our summer job program, and some students that it's impressive to me, and that's why we videotaped them, and then we did some photos, and we're gonna try to do like one. We had like several sites where they were working. Okay, So we just start with one of them today. These sites were this site was at Palmetto. Is that correct, April? Palmetto.
Oh, I'm not sure what you sent, but I have several videos, and it looks like they're all at the same location. So you want to start with that?
Yeah. Let's start with that.
Okay.
And you could put Annis's beautiful face where my face is. And I will be listening intently.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Matt. We really appreciate you.
And
I'll see you soon for sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Sorry to drop in on you.
All right. Well, Brother Eric, we're going to play a couple of videos, and then we'll bring Miss Annis on, okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I'm Dakota Long. I work with Palmetto Kids with the World Community Magazine, and I just want to say thanks to Miss Reeves, thanks for everyone else for this opportunity, and you've all helped out really well. Thank you.
My name is Jeremiah Rice, and I'm proud to work with the World Community Magazine in Palmetto, and I thank Miss Reeves and Miss North for what they've done.
Okay. Hi, my name is Lizzie Hernandez, and I work for the World Community Magazine from Palmetto Works. And I would like to thank Ms. Reeves and Ms. North, both for allowing me into this program and allowing me to be in this opportunity to be here.
My name is Dylan. I work at the World Community's Magazine summer job. I'm thankful for Ms. Reed and Ms. North.
Go ahead. Hello, my name is Tanai North, and I'm currently the camp director here at Palmetto Works CDC. I just want to say that we're very appreciative for what the World Community Magazine has done for us this far, and will continue to do for us. And we're so thankful to be able to serve our community and the children in our community.
Hi, my name is Lynn. I'm happy to be working with the World Community Magazine, and to be glad to be working here with Ms. Reeves and Ms. Allison.
Okay. Hi, I'm Joshua, and I'm glad to work with the Palmetto Kids and the World Community Magazines. That's all.
My name is Marquisha. I am working for Miss Reeves at Palmetto Kids Camp, and I enjoy working here, working with the kids. And
Brother,
my name is Marquisha.
Completely impressed.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, those kids, like Coretta says, this is beautiful. What I'm impressed most by in terms of seeing these videos is that you're showing the level of diversity that exists. You've reached the Hispanic community, and I think a lot of times when you're talking about your summer jobs program, the thought is that it's just for Black or African American students, but really this summer jobs program reaches youth of all ages and youth of from different ethnicities all over Horry County. And so kudos to you for working with Palmetto kids and for showing the level of diversity. I think it's wonderful.
Well, you can extend those kudos to Reverend Cheryl Adamson, and because she's head of the Palmetto organization, and also Miss Katrina Reed, or Minister Katrina Reeves. Katrina Reeves. She has done a phenomenal job being there. And, there were a couple of more young ladies that we didn't have the opportunity of. We missed out on the opportunity of them giving them their assessment of working with the children there. So we'll catch them the next time.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to bring on Miss Annis. How are you, President Staley?
How are you? I've just enjoyed listening to this youth program and thinking, well, those people eventually will be funding to go to college. So that was very exciting to listen to that, how much work they're doing at that level, because that's the level we kind of need whenever we get, whenever they get to high school. So that was interesting listening to the whole program.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what she has,
That's just a drop in the bucket. I mean, we had several sites, okay, and this was just that one site. This was that Palmetto Works under the auspices of Reverend Cheryl Moore Adamson,
okay.
and her staff.
Okay.
Great. This was at the Palmetto Church at the intersection of 9th Avenue and
Okay.
Palmetto Street, I believe.
Yeah, that was really interesting the way
Yeah.
she explained it. And it was nice to hear because at some point we can start at this level, but we got to work it down to get to our real community because there's a lot of talents in our community and there's a lot of things that we're not actually using. But I think if we can kind of get together and more groups start working together, I think we'll be able to accomplish much more than we ever even thought about. But sorry I couldn't get on earlier, but it is a pleasure to be on this program. I always like to get on to talk about what we're doing at Whittemore Alumni, and we got a lot of things going on. But it's always good to hear what other folks are doing. And you learn things when you listen to other people. And that's kind of what I was thinking about and writing my notes, listening to that. I like the way, too, that they are including the churches because that's one area that we haven't tapped at all. And we got some little hiccups there that we really can work on. But I like that they're reaching out to the churches in the area. Because there's a lot of resources we can use and a lot of resources we actually give to the churches. So that was a good point, along with the other points. But tonight we're here to talk about Whittemore and Whittemore Alumni Association and what we've been doing over the last year. And it's been an interesting year. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. As you know, we have a mission of some things we wanted to accomplish, and we're not there, but we're on our way. One of the main programs under that is our scholarship program. And briefly, I'd like to talk about that scholarship program because we're working in teams. And we have a team of folks chaired by Ms. Veronica Gerald. And we kind of broke that down, streamlined the process of getting the scholarships and making it easy, friendly, with the help of our marketing chair, Ms. April, so that make it more live for the students today because there was a lot of cumbersome there, we thought, and got them to utilize more of the online way of applying for the scholarship. The students seemed to like it was easier for them. We as the alums was the only people that was having issues with it. We old school, we used the paper, but with the help of the marketing team led by Miss April, and she has one team member, Miss Eugene Bellamy. They're kind of dragging us along, but we're coming, we're getting there. So that process, and along with Ms. Tanya Pickett, because we're going to continue working with the schools and with the counselors there, because wherever we can find the student that qualifies for the scholarships, we definitely want to do that. One of the things that we found, we asked for an average grade of 3.0. And this year, our lowest GPS was 3.5, as high as 4.2. So I was really pleased with that because last year I was really like, oh my goodness, but I didn't blame anybody. I just said, well, we're gonna have to work on it. And I was very proud that of the applicants that we received. And I think we're starting with the group of students earlier, helping them to understand the process and the importance of it. I think that we will accomplish that and get our folks up to more of that 4. And we got some folks coming out of school with 5s. And I'm just like, my goodness. But when they start young, this stuff comes very easy and natural to them. So we aren't going to pressure them, but we're going to try to encourage them. So with the scholarship this year, we were able to award 7 scholarships. And out of the 7, one class stepped up, the class of 67, led by Miss Clarice. Her class stepped up, 67, and said they wanted to sponsor one of the scholarships themselves, and was done in the name of Ms. Willie D. Whaley. She was a teacher. I think she was in her 90s, and she just passed, and they wanted to honor her. They allowed us to pick her. They told us the qualifications that they were looking for, kind of, to pick Ms. Whaley. And they said that they wanted to sponsor it. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because we are giving out $1,000 scholarships. And the class of 67 said, we're going to do 1,500. So it's like, okay. So that kind of gave us the, I haven't said anything to the group, but that group actually did $1,500 for their scholarship. And that scholarship went to Mazzoli Winley.
Zaria Winley.
Zaria Winley. She is going to Winford University, and she's going to major in interior design. She is, it was when the group came up to give her the scholarship, she started crying. And the one thing we did for all of the recipients, we tried to get to the high schools where they were being awarded in front of their membership, in front of their class friends. We also took it a step different. We added the churches that they were attending in their communities. Now that went over very big because this time we included the communities. And we got comments like from the community, oh yeah, that's right. It was that reminder. So that's one thing we added to that scholarship program. Now, she was not the only one, so I want to mention the other members.
I have the students on the slide, Ms. Annis, if you'd like for us to go through that.
That would be great.
Okay.
This is Mr. Walter Bradley. He is going to where is he? He's going to the College of
University of North Greenville.
That is a Bible school, and he's going into sports management. He said that's an interest of his. Now, as I go through the individuals, each one has already expressed what they want to major in, and we have something to kind of work with that also. So go to the next one, April. This is Miss Ariana Frazier. She's going to Claflin University, and she's majoring in business administration, and she wants to open up a chain of beauty salons. Interesting lady. She and you see her average there. She's excited about what she's doing, and you see her parents and her legacy. Member there was Miss Gwendolyn Mishu. Next one. Oh, this is Mr. Miles McFadden. Now, there's a story behind Mr. McFadden. He went to Florence. He was, he's from Florence, but his father was a pastor. Well, there was some King Street. And the pastor, his parents wanted the award to be given to him in King Street. So we had members to accompany him in King Street, and they did the award there at the King Street Church. He's going to South Carolina University, and he's majoring in ag, and I didn't even know that was a major, ag business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I really did. I said, was that
Big
a major?
time. Oh, yeah. Big
And
time.
I think as we go along in these majors, you'll see that it's not, these people are going into things that, oh, is that a major? But they're thinking about, what do you actually want to do? So
Right.
that's what he'll be doing. Very interesting. And his parents, family was all very happy with the presentation to him. Mr. Miles Pickett. Miles is going to Coastal Carolina there in Conway, and he's majoring in psychology. He's the son of Tanya and Michael Pickett. And he was one of the first people to apply online for his scholarship.
The very first. Mm-hmm.
The first one that we got to apply. So I thought that was really interesting. And if you see, his GPA is at 4.3, which is really, really, it's like, well, oh. He's like, what? But he's very happy. And he's on his way. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Miles was in this summer job program.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then
3 years, I believe.
And then Tanya, his mother, also was a recipient for the same scholarship that he received.
Right.
So it's interesting how it all kind of works out. And that's always, interesting to see. Then this next one is Miss Amber Sanders. Her GPA is 4.7. She's going to College of Charleston. She's coming down my way. And her major that she wants to major in is industrial systems engineer. I didn't know there was such a thing. But she's interested in going in that. So kudos to her. And
absolutely.
She was almost a 5, almost a 5. She seems to be real happy about what she's doing also. The next one is Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany is going to Coastal, and she's majoring in music, and her GPA is 4.2. She's a legacy of Miss Sally Brown there in Conway. And if you notice, she got quite a few awards around her on her gown. So she's excited. And I think we have one more. How many more, April? Oh, yeah.
Miss Zaria. Mm-hmm.
Zaria. Let's see. Where's Zaria? She's the one that's going to Winthrop. That's the first one that we did. She's going to Winthrop. And she's, we got her. Yeah, that was the first one I did was her. And is that the last one? Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that we've done with them that's a little different than what we've done before, we've already teamed them up with a mentor, and I'm going to talk about mentorship in a minute, but we've already teamed them up with someone in our mentorship program, and they've already had conversations with them as to how they're doing, because I think sometimes we give monies to the students and then they kind of get lost.
Yep.
Our goal is to mentor them all the way through their schooling. And then hopefully they'll come back and work with the next group of folks. And the mentors have already contacted them. And then the students that's getting got the money and they've already received the monies, they have formed a chat among themselves. So they're going to be communicating to each other as to what they're coming up against. One other thing that I'm going to present to the group, I haven't presented this yet, it's an idea in my head. I would like to see families that's in these towns near the school to partner with the student and help them kind of get into what college is about and kind of become a co-parent while they're in that town. That's one of the things we're going to try to work through. So it has been exciting working with this group of folks, and hopefully next year we'll have more students and hopefully we'll have more funding to give to the students. That's kind of our goal. Now, one other mission that we have is we have a mentor. Our event for this year is one of the missions, and that is going to be, it's our Christmas gala. This will be the third year. I think it was 3 years that it was missed. This year, we will have it at the Four Seasons Sheraton, which is now owned by Marriott. It's on the 23rd of December.
Is that the 4 Points on the Four Seasons? Yeah.
Yes, 4 points. Yeah, 4 points. And that is going to be really a nice affair. We're working on that. We have a lot of different parts of it. We haven't firmed up the price yet, but our financial team is working on that. As soon as we get that done, we'll get that out to the community, because we know everybody want to, kind of prepare themselves, especially those that's traveling, to help us with that part of it. If we can get that established, and it's a lot of folks kind of know where that is. The address is 105 Fancy Harbor Boulevard, and that's there in the old Walker Mall, I guess, mall. But that's just before you go over the bridge. We have the dates up, and then that is our website for the association. So that's exciting. We're gonna have, because we haven't had one, I hope we have wonderful attendance, and we are planning big fun for that night.
Is that a one day? Is that a one day? Not, it's just a one night affair.
One night affair. No, we're not. Yeah, it's just one night, just that evening. We do have some other things that's going on that Saturday night. For folks that's coming in early, we may set up some things just for a small reception. But
yeah,
that's official. Yeah. That would be something that, I'll probably just do on my own, just have a reception kind of hour, because folks will be coming over. The Marriott has extended us rooms for the night of $89 for those who stay over. And for folks that want to stay over, it's, it's up to the individual if that's what they want to do. But as I said, that's kind of going along with the price, and that hasn't been established. So we don't want to push that too much. Okay. And the last thing is the program. The last mission is our mentorship, led by Ms. Lisa Adams. Each student now has have already been contacted by their mentor. The mentor is making sure that they are getting into that college life, not too much, kind of forgetting why they're there. But that's normally, and talking to the students, that's normally the thing that they fear most is leaving their parent and going someplace new. And because if you notice, these folks are going to colleges that are different. And it's mainly because they're offering things that they want. They're not going to the traditional schools.
Absolutely.
So you walk into these schools sometime, it's like, So our goal is to ease that curve a little bit so that the students can feel as if they still could connect to someone that they know already before they get there. And then that will hopefully, and help them with their curricula, their classes. We have a group of folks that are educators, were educators, and we're still looking for more. And while I'm on that, we also have a membership committee that we're looking for memberships, because our goal is to grow Whittemore alumni to the point that we are satisfying all of the students that want to leave and go to some other place and do something different in the form of education, because without education, it's going to be a different world. And we know that if you're not ready for this world that we're living in, it may be a little different for you to live, basically. The standards are a little different. And our students, their jobs we have to do and not be paid. We'll have to do more for our community to get our community to measure up. And the things that Ms. McIver was talking about with that level of students, and if we're able to pick them up at 13, 14 years old, that says there's a continuous program that allows our students to feel as if they have a little bit more, and they'll walk with confidence and not feel as if someone is picking on them. And then we as a community can feel as if we're proud of what we've done. Now, the gala, let me go back to the gala. The gala, it will be semi to formal, so you can do either. It doesn't really matter. But we don't want to come in jeans. That's the main thing. But we are expecting and planning to have a good time and receive our recipients of Whittemore alumni. And if someone is not Whittemore alumni, it doesn't matter. We want to celebrate our legacy at Whittemore alumni. I said earlier, Whittemore has been through a lot in the last year. Some good, some bad. But the thing that I look at that inspires me the most is you may take down a building, but you can't take what I've learned at Whittemore away from me. And I think that's what we got to press forward to. And the way we do that is to work with the students that's coming through.
Yeah.
And we form a tight knit around them. I think that we'll still be fine. And it's going to work out, whatever. It only strengthens all of us to be moving in the right direction. So the main thing I wanted to cover is the scholarships. The folks that got the scholarships for this year, we are very proud of them. I mean, they will be in and around at our, some of them, maybe all of them will be at the gala, helping with that. And then with the mentorship program, and with the last thing was the scholarship, the mentor program, and the event. Those are the things we've been working on. We didn't get everything we wanted to do this year, but due to time, and we just weren't able to accomplish that. But I think I know we've moved in the past year. We made a gigantic step in the direction, and our goal is to get the branding of Whittemore out, so when someone says that Whittemore, they'll know exactly what we're talking about. But we have some other ideas for branding, but Ms. April has agreed to help us with that, and I'm looking forward to next year. So this time next year, hopefully our story will be a little longer with more people and more connecting of students. Once they leave Whittemore, we don't lose them into wherever and kind of forget about them. Our goal is to continue working with them.
Kudos to all of those. Ms. Staley, it would be nice if we can make a concerted effort to make sure that all the recipients are at the gala. I think it would be a good photo op for everybody, and their parents should be most proud of them at the gala. Make it a little attractive for them. I mean, I'll let the marketing person do that, but we won't charge them anything.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
It sounds like you need to join the marketing team. You putting ideas out there. You need to join. Come on, join the marketing team.
It's interesting you saying that, Mr. McQueen, because I was just at a fundraiser while I'm here, and they was on the music side. They were giving out awards, and I guess for me, I like going places and seeing interesting things as to how things work. And they did the very same thing you said. The students that's graduating this time, they are going on, and they started in the 8th grade.
Right.
And perfecting their music, and this group has sent them all over the country playing.
Right.
They have an awesome jazz band now. And as you said, they came up, introduced their parent, because that was really like, I said, okay, all right, and that was the same thing. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that we will have at our gala, because we need to spotlight them so everybody will see them. So, thank you, Mr. Edward. I really appreciate that comment. And like I say, like Ms. April, I think you should come and join the marketing team. I really so let's just put you in.
The magazine is the marketing team. That's not is the magazine. It's part of the marketing team. Okay. There's one other question, and that is, I saw where Miss Patton, Miss Janice Patton,
Yes, yes.
had she said they ran the idea about inviting all of the past recipients. Okay, I think that would be great. I
Yeah.
really think that would be great. Of course, everybody can come in free, but I bet they'll be willing. They'll be willing to make that contribution. I believe, and you can go back as far as we ever can. Okay, really.
Well, no, I appreciate that too, Mr. Ed. That is one of the things that I spoke briefly about some members today. Inviting as many as we can. And then, I think there's one, I think was the first recipient was offered. What's her name? She's Quinn.
Monique Jones Burgess.
Yes, she was actually the first one.
The first one, yeah.
The first one. So there's some things we're gonna do, and no, we won't be paying for them. Now this year recipients, we will comp them because they will be working. But yes, that's another great idea. We're looking for ideas from whatever way. I think Ms. Patton suggested that, and that's great. We're always open and where we can work it. We're trying to get as many people under the tent as possible because that's how it works.
I want to not be boasting about this, but many people don't know that when we gave the first one to her, it was the Washington D.C. chapter.
Okay. At that time,
right? We gave it to Miss Burgess, Monique.
That's okay.
Jones, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what. And interesting enough, since we've been doing this, we're digging out some history of Whittemore that I didn't even know, because we're trying to put that history together, working on that. And it's really interesting what has happened, how all of this got started. Right. So we're going to deal a little bit more and start putting more of that stuff out during the year, because I think people like to see that. And that also works with the branding of the Whittemore community. So I'm really excited about what we're doing. And it has been challenging, but it's good. It's good challenging, And the thing about our members, we agreed to disagree, but nobody's mad. We just keep it moving. So we have a good time. And everybody is growing, and I think that's the good thing. We're growing in what we're trying to achieve, and the legacy is there because they're moving the alums forward. And we're there to not anchor them, but to just advise. And so it works out very well. When you can get older people and young folks in the same room and they all end up going in the same direction, that's amazing.
Well, while we're at it, and then we're running out of time, but give kudos. I'd like to just give kudos to the past administration who's been doing it for 20 some years, I guess. But and obviously for it to get to this point, they must have been doing something right. Okay, nobody's perfect, but I'd like to give them credit. I think
that's one thing that
for getting us this far.
Yeah, well, that's one thing we have planned at our gala. We're going to recognize some of that.
Yeah,
just for it to be still together.
Right.
I'm sure they had some times. That has to be recognized. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, you can't just walk away.
Right.
You got to kind of have, recognize folks for the time and energy.
Absolutely. And
Ms. Annis, I'd like to make mention that you can visit the Whittemore Alumni Association.org website to find out more information about the association. We will post save the date information and more details about the gala as the plans are finalized. But also, as you consider donations, we are now a 501c3 organization.
Right.
And prior to President Staley coming on board, the association did not operate as a federal 501c3 association. And now that we are, any of your donations will be tax deductible. So that's always good. And we have a great finance team. And is it okay to announce that we have a newest member of the board and the team so that everyone knows? Yeah,
Definitely.
we actually have Janet Lawrence Patton, who is now been installed as the treasurer for the association. And she, along with Sherilyn DeWitt, are working on the finance portions of the operations. And so, first of all, congratulations, Janet, and thank you so much for your willingness to help us. But also, it just shows the growth and the positive direction that we're trying to go in as far as the association and what President Annis says with the alumni and the legacy working together. And so, if you are interested in becoming a member or just volunteering, go to our website. There's plenty of information there about how to join. And also, we will have more information up later. Right now, the previous scholarship winners are still on the website. So if you want to take a look at the 2022 scholarship winners, be our guest. But I'm going to install the 2023 scholarship winners really soon so that we can continue to celebrate them throughout the year. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. April. I do appreciate that. And Ms. Janet, she came on and with that willing spirit saying, whatever you'd like for me to do. Well, I knew her background. And she said, wherever you'd like me to work, I'm willing to work. So I was really happy that she just, and she's the daughter of Mr. Isaiah Lawrence.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Isaiah Lawrence.
Yeah, and I'm really, because he was all Whittemore,
Yeah.
So it's always good to, to see people come on and just volunteer and say, okay, where do you want me to work? And so
Ms. Staley, I know you're kind of running out of time, but isn't it really awesome that the young lady there, she's just as excited, and she's not really a graduate of Whittemore, but she expresses so much excitement about making the announcement there. She doesn't know who we're talking about.
Yeah, who we talking about?
April.
I'm not a graduate, but you're right. I represent my mom, who was class of 1962.
Yeah.
Linda Carter Davis was watching a little earlier. That's my mom's classmate. And so, I do what I can.
Yeah, well, see, what I'm finding in the legacy, that's what they all say, that their parents came to Whittemore and they feel as if they're doing their parents proud. And if they don't do this, then they'll be letting their parents down. That's kind of the thread that kind of comes through with that legacy group. So they're willing to just come and do their thing. So I'm really happy. And next year, hopefully we can get into more of those communities, Burgess, Myrtle Beach, Cool Spring, Ana, those folks that also, because we got legacies and alums in those areas to try to, work. So we're going to try to grow this to the point that it works. I'm not going to say automatically, but it's kind of like the pilots. We just, we'll set it on course and put it on automatic and just bring it down. That's really going to be what we're doing, but we'll have all our teams working and it'll be a good time. There'll be, they'll have another president and that person will go do their thing. And that's how it's supposed to work.
That's how it's supposed to work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The baton.
Yep. That's it.
So President Staley, I'm going to put her on blast, but Coretta Small says she's a legacy too. So I've already asked her to come and join us. We can put her to work.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
And it doesn't matter that you're in Greenville. We have out-of-towners, legacies who are from out of town who join via Zoom. So Coretta, come on and join.
That's right. You don't have to be in Conway. As a matter of fact, I'm not in Conway. And quite a few of our other members are not in Conway. As a matter of fact, now I'm in Maryland. It has nothing to do with where you are. The way technology is today, we still can get this done. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Coretta is that Burgess connection. She's a Smalls.
Oh, yes.
O'Neill. O'Neill Smalls.
Yes. And Geneva.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, no, we're in for a good time. I'm excited about it. And we got more interesting things coming. I'm kind of like working with this new legacy group. there's certain things that we have to say at the right time. So I'm just kind of holding back and say, no, we can't. That ain't soup yet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know,
We gotta read between lines in our conversation.
But I'm enjoying working with the legacy because it keeps me on my toes, and I don't ever want to be washed out. You know, I want to always be in tune. And if you can't use some of these technologies, you really can't do too much living in this life. You're gonna have to catch up.
You really can't.
Really, because
Okay.
this thing is really and once you get using it, you'll see how much better life can be for yourself. Mm-hmm.
But it remains to be seen in maybe 5 or 10 years how fast it's moving beyond our ability to catch up.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And,
it's amazing. It's amazing. So.
Okay. Well, look. Good having you on.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate the time. It's always good to work with Edward and April and whatever they're trying to get done. But this is one that I do appreciate the host and the hostess allowing us this time to kind of share a little bit about what we're doing. So thanks a million. And I say to the Whittemore community, stay tuned and look forward to seeing you. What time is the Zoom meetings? Linda's asked what time the Zoom meetings on. Okay, you got it.
On third Sunday, it's at 6 p.m., Miss Linda, and we can send you the Zoom link, and you can definitely join us when you can.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah.
She'll be there.
She'll be there.
She'll be there.
We need to get your email address, Miss Linda. I'm going to put my email address in the comments, and if you will email me, I will make sure you receive the Zoom link.
Man, that's 62 class or something else.
Okay? Yes, that's it.
That's 62 class or something else.
And see, that kind of response is really, that's good because you can get all that information that we need. And I do appreciate the opportunity of serving in this capacity. And I've enjoyed it, guys. I as I tell the group, I got one more year.
Maybe.
That's what you think.
Don't start. Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, Brother Edward, it's been an amazing show, and we had some, incredible information, summer jobs, summer literacy, Whittemore Alumni Association with the scholarships. That's how you support the youth. That's how you support the youth in the area. And it's all interconnected.
Whether they like it or not.
Well, you know what? They'll appreciate it in the long run. They'll appreciate it.
If we can get them there, if we can get them to that point.
If we can get them to that point, and they'll realize one day that all of this is mentoring. Every last bit of it is a part of that mentoring umbrella. So we just want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you, Miss Clarice, for watching. Coretta, Miss Linda Carter Davis, Janet, Sister Joella, of course, is always supporting from the back, and we really do appreciate that. Betty Gauls is watching tonight. Thank you, Betty, and Carolyn Hickman Williams. I could go on. Nakisha Frazier, who is the mother of one of the scholarship recipients. Congratulations to you. And look, good job, Mama. Good job. Good job.
Absolutely.
And yes, and the best of luck to Ariana and Verdell Beckman. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just kind of going through giving shout outs. Bonnie Edie was on here earlier. Thank you, Bonnie. And of course, Miss Destiny, thank you for sending in your final presentation really, really early. I'm sure that Miss McIver is going to give you a gold star for that. So we really do appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. And Susan Sasser, thank you for watching tonight. We appreciate it. Veronica Muhammad, Brother Edward, Addison Wright was on here earlier. So we had a great audience who, the ones who chose to chime in. There's always more people watching, and there are a few who are more, I guess, they don't mind, putting in comments and that type of thing. Yeah. So it's all good. It's what we need in order to keep us encouraged, and we really appreciate it. Absolutely. Yeah. So
appreciate all these guys, all these. Really do. So.
Yeah. So same time next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Oh, next week we have something with Mr. Mitchell.
No, I think he's going to wait until September.
Oh,
because of the a big launch in September. So,
okay.
Yeah, but we'll be working on the new guests for next week.
All right. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. So, again, kudos to all of our graduates and congratulations for getting the scholarship. And I'd love to see those 4.2 averages, 4.1, those 4s and 3. And the 3.0s, 3.5s. Okay. So God bless them all. All right, April.
All right.
Time. See you next week. Okay.
See you next week. All right. Take care.
All right.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.